Blessings and welcome to this masterclass on how to rekindle the romance and transform your relationship into a spiritual partnership without having to go to therapy, even if she has one foot out of the door, and start having sex 4 times a week. I know this might sound unbelievable right now. That's why I want to give you the proof from the get-go so you know without a shadow of doubt that these results are possible for any man. So let's hear it from some real world results.
We had sex for like 4 hours and she lost count of how many orgasms I gave her. She squirted. She said that she's addicted.
God, you have so much stamina. I've never made love like this. I didn't know love could be like this. Never experienced anything like that. Having multiple orgasms. 1-5. So 15 orgasms in a session.
In one session.
Yeah.
During lovemaking, I could just be really, really present. And the effect that had on her was for her being able to surrender even more. And that helped me to be even more present. And that helped her to surrender more. And so we're on this cycle, and that just exploded energetically, in a good way. It's also good news. We decided to stay together. We're committed to stay together. We're transitioning back into living together.
So now with the proof out of the way, let's get started with who this is for. So this is for any committed man who feels like the relationship or marriage is slipping away, whether it's on the brink of ending or things have become stale, distant, and sexless. What we will be covering today is a simple 5-step holistic strategy to reignite passion in just weeks, without having to make her do anything. Discover how taking a stand as a grounded, present leader can transform your relationship and rebuild trust without your partner participating. Learn how to break destructive patterns and create a safe emotional environment, even if you tried everything else and nothing has been working. I will reveal a little known method that deepens intimacy even if you're in a sexless relationship right now. And you will learn how to understand the key to reigniting attraction and passion, that magnetic force that keeps relationship alive and thriving. And a way to finally become the confident, passionate husband your wife or partner deserves, with all the trust, laughter, and connection that goes along with that, without dragging her to therapy. My promise to you is that by the end of this training, you will have a 5-step holistic game plan to reignite the spark with your woman so you can feel desired, connected, and in love again. Let me just real quick check in with you to see where you are in your relationship. Tell me, does any of these sound like you? Do you sometimes look over at your woman, wonder why she has withdrawn her affection and attraction, and ask yourself, where did the playful, fun, passion go? Do you feel stuck in the same patterns? Often avoid initiating sex because you expect to be rejected or get performance anxiety? Does your partner complain you're not being emotionally available and not stepping up as the masculine leader? And you wonder if she has lost the trust in you as a man and in the relationship, no matter how hard you try. Do you feel like you've grown apart from being passionate lovers to being bickering roommates or just coasting like co-parents? Do you go out of your way to be kind to your wife by trying to meet her every need and doing whatever you can around the house to make her happy, even if it means putting her desires above your own? Do you feel frustrated, lonely, and sad, falling asleep yet again without a meaningful connection to your beloved, and your best coping strategy seems to be distracting yourself with work, porn, alcohol, or Netflix? Are you secretly terrified that if you don't step up and fix this now, your relationship will slowly fall apart until one day you wake up alone, wondering how you lost the person you love the most? Well, if any of that sound like you, then I have good news, because none of those are the real problem. The real problem is that you haven't made what I call the shifts. Before I share these shifts with you, let me tell you what happens once you make them. Once you make them, you will know yourself on a deeper level and totally relax into rock-solid confidence. You know exactly how to initiate mind-blowing sex and connection. Your wife or partner will look at you with renewed hunger and passion in her eyes. You will feel those butterfly feelings in your stomach again as when you first fell in love. Your friends and family will wonder what got into you, and everyone will be jealous of the amazing relationship you have. You finally wake up next to your woman, looking at her in the eyes, knowing that she loves you from the bottom of her heart, and you love her right back. And every morning you wake up, it keeps getting better and better. And you know exactly how to reignite the spark, so you can finally feel secure your relationship is going to last. Before I share these 5 shifts with you, let me just take 1 second here to introduce myself so you know why you should listen to me. My name is Steffo Shambo, and I'm also known as the Love Alchemist by my clients. I think that nickname comes from my ability to alchemize and spiritualize sex, love, and relationships. I've been featured on a full-length documentary from Vice where they came and filmed my work that I do with men. I'm also famous for giving a woman an energy orgasm in front of millions of people on YouTube. For almost a decade now, I helped hundreds of committed men from all around the world to improve intimacy and connection with their partners. All of my clients were able to do this even if they felt hopeless, stuck, and completely disconnected. So today I'm going to show you exactly how they did it. So let me take a moment here to tell you how I discovered these 5 shifts. Years ago, I thought I was doing well in my relationships and personal growth. On the surface, everything looked fine. I meditated daily. I practiced yoga. I went to the gym. I read the self-help books. I worked hard. And I believed I was showing up as the man I needed to be. But reoccurring patterns kept surfacing. Arguments out of nowhere. Growing distance between me and my partner, sex becoming less frequent, and moments of frustration or feeling misunderstood. At first, I thought the problem was outside of me and I was blaming my woman and everything else, but then I realized these patterns weren't random. They were coming from within me. That's when I began exploring the deeper layers of my unconscious, the hidden fears, the hidden beliefs and unresolved wounds that was driving my behavior unconsciously. I discovered I was stuck in my shadow, also known as karmic holding patterns, the part of myself I had buried and rejected. And it was silently sabotaging my relationships, self-sabotage. As I did the inner work to heal, everything changed. I stopped reacting out of fear and defensiveness, and I became the grounded, present leader my relationship needed. Emotional safety returned. Intimacy deepened. The love and connection I've been craving finally became real. Then I started applying these 5 shifts to other men. First my friends and then my clients, and their lives transformed too. Men stuck in toxic cycles broke free. Men who had lost intimacy reignited passion and trust. And most importantly, they didn't just fix their relationships, they became more grounded, confident men in every area of life because they changed their whole energy around them. So they resonated on a different frequency. So these 5 energetic shifts are the key to attract your woman back to you and creating that sexy spiritual relationship that you always wanted. And I'm going to walk you through all of them right now so you can start seeing results in your life immediately. So let's get started with shift number 1. Stop pleasing and start leading. This is one of the most important shifts that you can make as a man, to start leading from a place of purpose and strength. This is about taking a moral stand, not just in your relationship, but in your life as a whole. When you operate from a place of pleasing, you are compromising your own authenticity and integrity to gain approvals and avoid conflict. You become reactive instead of proactive. And while it might seem like you're doing all the right things by making everyone else happy, you're actually betraying yourself. And ironically, the people you care about the most. Leading is the opposite. It's about stepping into your masculine strength and taking responsibility for your life, your decisions, and the way you show up for others. It means setting boundaries, speaking your truth, and being willing to make hard decisions, not because they are easy, but because they are right. Why this matters is because neediness is killing the passion. It's rooted in fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of not being good enough. Pleasing might feel like a path to harmony, but it's actually killing the attraction and the respect. A woman doesn't want a man who bends over backward to keep the peace or avoid confrontation. That is suffocating her. Similar to the passion of a flame being suffocated by a glass jar. The oxygen gets depleted, and that will eventually lead to repelling the polarity and magnetism in the relationship. So instead of repeating this toxic cycle, you need to stop pleasing and to take a stand. She wants a man who knows who he is, what he stands for, and where he's going, and someone who invites her to join him on that journey. You can't have the life and the relationship you want if you're afraid to lead her. You need to take a stand for yourself, for your values, and for your vision. Stop asking for permission to live the life you want. Stop tiptoeing around others' feelings. Stop hiding behind the mask of niceness and step in to the role of the leader. This isn't about being controlling or domineering. That is not leadership. True leadership is about being grounded, decisive, and clear about your purpose. It's about having the courage to say, baby, this is what I stand for, and I'm not afraid to live it. So I invite you to ask yourself these questions. Am I communicating and living in alignment with my values, or am I compromising them to keep others happy? Do I take responsibility for my life and my relationships? Or do I wait for her to change, for her to save the relationship, for her to agree to go to therapy, for her to take the lead? Am I willing to make hard decisions, even if they upset people, because I know they are the right decisions? What happens to your sex life when you are needy and then start to implement this shift? Let's look at a real life example of this principle. I want you to pay attention to when he's talking about how he used to blame his wife and how that really turned her off.
Yeah, and this doesn't make me look good, but I think I need to say it. I think it was worse than a sexless marriage. And this will sound strange, but like we were having sex, but it was because I was forcing it and I being needy. And my wife was like not wanting to have sex, and she felt very hurt. I was acting like a needy boy and really not a man. So in that sense, it was worse than just not having sex, because I just wasn't living into my masculine potential. Yeah, by the end of the 9 weeks, we kind of hit a breakthrough out of nowhere. It was like, it wasn't out of nowhere because I was doing hard work and she was noticing that.
Right.
We ended up having sex like 3 times in 7 days.
Wow.
It was actually 4 times in 8 days. And it was like different sex. It was like good sex that was healthy emotionally for both of us. So
Wow.
I was just amazed at the change in her and in me. And I think before I had always tried to change her by blaming her by telling her she wasn't doing enough.
Understand that this is just a short clip from a longer interview. The gist is that we talked about how he was able to save his marriage by himself. So I actually only worked with him and not his wife. All right, so let's move on to the second shift. Make safety sexy. Emotional safety isn't just about trust, it's about showing up as the man who can handle the emotional intensity of a relationship without losing himself. That's what makes it sexy. For many men, emotions, especially intense ones, tend to feel overwhelming. When faced with emotional waves, we tend to resort to one of two things. One, we're trying to fix the problem immediately to calm the situation and regain control. Or two, we shut down or withdraw because we feel powerless to navigate the intensity. But the truth is that neither of those responses creates emotional safety. When you're trying to fix her, you send a message that her emotions are a problem to be solved, not something to be understood. When you withdraw, you leave her feeling alone or unsupported, which destroys trust and connection. The real issue is that most men let their partner's emotions control them. They react instead of responding, and in doing so, they give away their emotional sovereignty. Instead, be the lighthouse, not the boat caught in the storm. Her emotions may crash around you, but your steadiness creates safety and trust, just like a lighthouse in the storm. Her emotions are like the weather. Sometimes it's stormy and sometimes it's sunshine, and the weather can change quickly. You must understand that it will constantly change. And this dynamic is just not between men and women, but all couples, including gay couples, they always have polarity. So to make safety sexy, change how you handle emotions, both hers and your own. She doesn't need a fixer. She needs a man who can hold space while staying grounded. So develop your emotional sovereignty, which is the ability to take full ownership of your emotions without being controlled by the emotions of others. And develop emotional intelligence, which is to understand your feelings and why you feel them, while also being able to empathize with other people. Here are 3 myths that gets in the way of creating emotional safety and making safety sexy. Myth number 1 is that safety is boring. That is wrong. Emotional safety doesn't mean being nice or conflict-free. It means having the strength to navigate emotional challenges without losing your cool. Passion thrives when your partner knows you can handle her emotions. Myth number 2, it's weak to focus on emotions. False. True strength is being able to face vulnerability, yours and hers. Avoiding emotions isn't strength, it's fear. Myth number 3, if I just avoid upsetting her, she will feel safe. Nope, avoidance isn't safety. It's avoidance. Real safety comes from being present, setting boundaries, and showing her that you're steady like a lighthouse no matter what. If you let her emotions control you, you will feel resentful because you're constantly trying to fix something that doesn't need fixing. Number 2, she'll lose trust in you because you're not showing up as your authentic self. Number 3, the emotional tension in the relationship will erode intimacy and passion. To illustrate this point, let me show you a funny video clip of a couple arguing. The man in the couple is trying to fix the situation and she just wants to be heard and seen.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And sometimes it feels like it's right up on me and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
See, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you.
Ow!
Come on. If you would just...
Don't.
Try to see things my way.
All right, sometimes humor can help us understand things more clearly, right? But what happens to her when you make safety sexy? I worked with a guy on this shift and his woman experienced amazing results from day one. So let's hear what she had to say about this and pay attention to when he shifted his energy, the relationship shifted.
I didn't trust you because I knew that you were lying about the porn. I didn't felt like I have a man next to me. I always felt like you're a boy and that you're needy and that I'm just an object for your sexual needs and desires. I was pretty sure that if nothing changes, this is not gonna work because you were not the man that I wanted and I was definitely not the woman that I desired to be. And things started to change from the day one. You were more conscious, you were more loving, you were more man, you had the willpower. And what is the most important for me? You understand me now. Like, you really feel me. Like, the things I was asking you to do or not to do before, you didn't know why you would do them or not do them, and that you didn't have the drive for it. I feel much safer and I trust you. And I believe that you're really the man of my dream and that we can move into the house together.
Wow. Thank you.
As you saw here, when you develop your emotional sovereignty, everything starts to shift. And that brings us to the next powerful shift, which is use the secret weapon, and that is holistic transformation. This method goes beyond traditional therapy because it addresses and integrates all 5 levels of the human experience. The way you show up in your relationships is a direct reflection of your relationship with yourself. Every thought, feeling, and behavior you bring to your interactions is influenced by the 5 core areas of transformation. Level 1, mental transformation. Level 2, emotional transformation. Level 3, sexual transformation. Level 4, energetic transformation. And level 5, spiritual transformation. So these are the building blocks of who you are. So you want to create an alignment between all these areas. These 5 levels are deeply interconnected. You can't heal one area without addressing another. So for example, if you shift your mental beliefs but ignore your emotional wounds, all patterns will resurface. If you master your sexual energy but don't align your emotions, you may have superficial connection and struggle with deeper intimacy. If you develop your masculine energy and polarity but don't heal spiritually, you may still feel a lack of purpose in your relationships. Holistic transformation is about integrating all 5 levels so you can rekindle your relationship from a place of alignment and not fear. This is the secret weapon that changes everything. It allows you to become the man you were destined to be and finally create the true love with your woman that you deserve. Let's take a moment to understand why the traditional approach to relationships has been failing men for so long. The lessons we were taught about sex, love, and relationships are outdated and ineffective. The old way looks like this: going to therapy and seeing a couples counselor. Therapy often ends up in endless talking without actionable change. focusing on blame or trying to fix communication without addressing deeper emotional wounds or unconscious patterns, it can feel like the therapist is taking sides, which only fuels more resentment. Simply uncovering the pain is not enough. You must rewire your internal script and break free from the karmic holding patterns. Moreover, the old way also says that all you need is to go to couples workshops, doing more informational courses, watching YouTube videos and read books on relationships, practice the love languages, go on expensive vacations, blaming yourself or your partner, improve your communication skills, make compromises, distract yourself with porn, work, or escapism, do nothing or winging it by yourself. And maybe you will fix the relationship. These failed attempts are the results of what I call disempowered relating. Men today are silently suffering, addicted to porn, frustrated with their role as men, facing high divorce rates, and being more prone to suicide. The truth is, the old approach on how to fix relationships are broken, because we did not get the adequate teachings in school about sex, love, and relationships. The bottom line is that the old way is not working. Does it even make sense when you try the old way of relating and then experience the disappointments, the rejection, the failure, the hopelessness, and that in turn reinforces your inner dialogue? For example, I'm not good enough for her, I can't make her happy, or whatever you're telling yourself in your own head, right? And then you start to believe them even more, and out of frustration, you might try another disempowered relating technique, and then this vicious circle continues again and again. Does this seem to make sense? Winging it a bit here and there, does that seem to be a smart way to heal your relationship problems? It's what I like to call the cross your fingers method. Hope and pray that one day all your relationship problems will be gone. And each time you try the old way and it doesn't solve the issues, your trust and faith get worn out and you may end up hopeless. So you really got to do something else. You got to try the new way. And the new way is the holistic 5-level transformation, which is called the FLT method. And it has 5 simple levels. Rewire your love patterns. Heal your shadow, master your sexuality, develop your masculine energy, and finally create a conscious partnership. So can you see how simple this is? It's just 5 steps to heal and save your relationship. So you don't need to spend years in therapy with minimal results or lie awake at night feeling hopeless, nothing is working. The FLT method can replace all that frustrating cross your fingers effort. All right, let's move on to the 4th shift, which is ignite polarity or perish. Without this shift, romance fades, passion dies, and relationships risk falling into the dreaded roommate zone. This shift is the glue that holds everything else together. Why? Because polarity is the foundation of chemistry, is the magnetic charge between masculine and feminine energy that creates a dynamic, passionate connection. The truth is, you can master communication, handle emotions with sovereignty, create safety, but without polarity, your relationship will lack that fire that fuels sexual attraction. The law of polarity is universal, just like the law of gravity. It adheres to all of us, but often overlooked in conventional methods like therapy. Sexual polarity is the scientific explanation of passion and sexual chemistry. 2 plus poles or 2 minus poles does not create attraction. It repels each other. It's depolarizing and flatlining the magnetism. And it doesn't produce passion in the bedroom, but rather neutral roommates. As you know, the universal law of polarity states that everything in nature has an opposite, like masculine and feminine energies. These polar energies complement each other in a relationship, but when you suppress your leading masculine energy and true desires, it actually reverses polarity in the relationship. And this causes what I call reversed polarity. This imbalance kills attraction and sexual chemistry. That's why embodying and leading with your masculine energy is so crucial. Your feminine partner craves that polarity for balance and excitement in your marriage. She can't fully step into her femininity without you anchoring in your masculine. So how do you actually ignite that polarity? Well, I will tell you. Lean into your masculine edge. First of all, remove the intimacy killers of the feminine. Then you have to heal the shadow of your masculine. Step into the natural masculine here, right? But not only that, you want to also heal your shadow feminine inside of you and stepping in and learning the skills of the natural feminine. So you're not too skewed or too extreme on either side. You don't want to be too much on the plus side or the minus side. You want to have a balance between these two. This is what I call the integrated man, the tantric man, the conscious man, whatever you want to call it, right? That is where you will find your power. But moreover, to explain this deeper, you need to understand that masculine energy, and also feminine energy for that matter, also have polarity, light and dark polarity. So it's not just a polarity between masculine and feminine. So here I will illustrate this polarity with 4 quadrants. On the left side, we have the light, and on the right side, we have the dark, okay? First, we have wounded light masculine. We have the people pleaser, over polite, over analytic, lacks direction, over committing. The shadow here is suppressed leadership, being resentful and manipulative, right? On the flip side, we have wounded dark masculine. That is overpowering, aggressive, controlling, doesn't take responsibility, a rebel, lacks emotional awareness, empathy. The shadow here is lack of emotional depth, disconnection from the heart, and creating chaos in relationships. Then we have integrated light masculine, which is leading with integrity, protect in a healthy, non-controlling way, safe, verbally, physically, energetically, important all 3, balanced, grounded, and able to maintain healthy relationships, hold space for others' emotions without losing his own sense of self. And finally, we have the integrated dark masculine, assertive and bold, embodied power with integrity, embraces primal instincts like courage, sexuality, and passion in a constructive way, clear on what he wants and desires, owns and commands his sexual energy, harnesses raw masculine power without harming others, balance primal strength with wisdom and self-control. So leaning into your masculine edge means that you need to heal both your wounded parts and stepping into the integrated light masculine and the integrated dark masculine. But many men and society at large are afraid of the wounded dark masculine, and because of that, never realizes the full potential and power in the integrated dark masculine. This shift can change your life. I'm being honest, but don't take my word for it. I have countless of guys experience this polarity shift, and I want you to pay attention to how they almost stumble upon words trying to describe what happens when they started doing this.
I felt like an 8-year-old trapped in a 48-year-old body until about 3 months ago. There hadn't been much polarity in our relationship. She had adopted the masculine and feminine roles. By the end of it, she could notice a difference in how I looked, how I acted. There was this sort of magnetism, this curiosity, and she definitely sees a different person. So we both had this rapid transformation. A lot of couples in our situation probably may have gotten divorced. I needed to save my marriage.
It's definitely turned out to be one of the best decisions of my life. She said things like, "We're together now because you did all these things. And I see the difference in you. I feel the difference in you." So that's the biggest proof for me, was that we're together, and that she said, "We're together because of all of these changes that you've made. Our dynamic is just like obsessiveness with each other is like the first few months. It really is. We're almost 3 years in, and we'll joke now about how we're back into that honeymoon phase. But the best thing is just the intimacy from both sides is like it was when we first met, when it's just near that magical moment, when it's all you want to do, just kind of like snuggle or be around each other or make love or anything like that. That's the biggest change and the most special thing for me, for sure. So this has been such a gift in that way, and something that I didn't even really know was possible before.
Yeah.
And it opens up it's miraculous how I feel about it.
And this big transformation also happened in my sexual life. With my partner, we were able to access a completely new dimension of lovemaking. I feel it's almost impossible to describe because I really feel that one has to experience it themselves. But what I can say is that I was able to touch highs of pleasure. I didn't think they were possible, just they were available to a normal human being in such a short period of time. Come on, we're talking about just 9 weeks. So we took it to a completely another dimension, and I was also able to experience the healing power of sex, being able to let go of all traumas, to release energy blockages. Really, I'm experiencing something that if someone told me before, I would find it hard to believe. But hey, it's possible, and I'm really happy to tell you it is, and you can do this yourself too.
My hope is that this inspired you to see that it's possible for change and that you can also make changes by implementing these shifts. And now let's go into the last fifth shift. And the last shift is to invest in mentoring. And I'm not saying that you have to go with me as your mentor. Choose whoever you want to, but choose someone that resonates with you and you think that can help you with this. But I want to tell you this. If you're struggling in your relationship and love life right now, the truth is that you can't solve the problem with the same energy and mindset that created that. Most men trying to figure it out by themselves, relying on books, on videos, on informational courses, but those approaches almost never work. Why is that? Because they are just information. They tell you what to do, but they don't show you how to do it. That's why getting the guidance step by step works so well. Mentors have already walked the path you're trying to navigate. They've done the deep work, figured out what works, and can guide you step by step to achieve the same results that you want. With the right mentor, you can identify blind spots. It's hard to see your unconscious patterns and beliefs that sabotage your love life on your own, like a fish unaware of the water that it swims in. Outside perspective and guidance are essential to uncover and address what's holding you back. Number 2, it will accelerate your growth. It provides the training, the strategy, the tools, the knowledge to condense years of trial and error into weeks. And through the spiritual concept of transmission, you absorb not just their expertise, but also their mindset and their energy. Being guided by someone who's already succeeded is the ultimate shortcut to transformation. Accountability and being part of a men's group or tribe are essential for transformation because they provide the support, structure, and honest feedback needed to grow. It breaks the isolation many men feel, offering a brotherhood of shared wisdom and collective strength where vulnerability is embraced as a sign of courage. A community keeps you on track and ensures you stay committed to the process. And lastly, creating long-term, lasting results. Mentoring doesn't just fix the problem. It gives you the skills and mindset to thrive by yourself in your relationship for the rest of your life. You might think you can figure it out on your own, but ask yourself this. How many years have you already spent stuck in the same patterns? How much pain has it cost you and your partner? How much longer are you willing to wait, hoping things will change? How much real spiritual connection and mind-blowing sex did you have recently? How much have you invested in business coaches, personal trainers, or informational courses? Why wouldn't you invest the same energy and resources into the most precious part of your life, your love and relationships? Isn't your connection, intimacy, and happiness worth just as much, if not more? The truth is, doing nothing is the most expensive choice. The longer you wait, the more damage is done to your relationship, your confidence, and your future. Investing in mentoring isn't a cost, it's a shortcut to the life and relationship you truly want. And I say this because I walk my talk. I travel all over the world. As a matter of fact, I traveled to 25 countries seeking out the best mentors and teachers and gurus, by the way. And I invested over $100,000 in learning from them. And I'm not exaggerating that number. It's probably even over $100,000 by now. And every single day, I have to tell you, I wake up grateful for the decisions I made to invest in myself. And to be honest, if I hadn't taken that leap of faith, if I hadn't invested in mentors who guided me along the way, I wouldn't be where I am today, living on my purpose, doing what I love to do, helping others. So here is a summary of what you need to win. Stop pleasing, start leading, make safety sexy, use the secret weapon, ignite polarity or perish, and invest in mentoring. So the bottom line is this. Once you implement this, you'll have a start to finish system from going stuck in relationship patterns to achieving a spiritual partnership in as little as the next 9 weeks. Do you see how powerful this is? Like I said, everything you've been feeling, the loneliness, the sadness, none of that is your fault. You just didn't have a method. But now when you have this and you know about this, you owe it to yourself and your relationship to start using this system to create the relationship of your dreams and start feeling unconditional love starting today. So now you have a choice. You can keep on feeling more and more distance creep into your relationship, wondering if this is really what the rest of your life is going to be like. Or if you want to feel excited about the future again, have romantic passion with your woman, and save your relationship, then here is what I have for you. My team and I have set aside some time in the next 24 to 48 hours to speak with you personally about applying this system to reignite intimacy in your relationship starting today. So here's how it works. We get on a Zoom call for about 45 minutes. You can tell me everything you're struggling with and everything that is not working. And we put our heads together and design a step-by-step plan for you to reconnect with your partner and transform your relationship into a spiritual partnership faster than you thought possible. And if you want my ongoing support to implement this plan so you can start seeing progress immediately, we can discuss how to make that happen. If not, no problem. Either way, my goal is to show you your next step to improve intimacy now. And by the way, this is not for everyone. I have 2 requirements you must meet for this free session. Number 1, you must be a committed man who is serious about improving your relationship and ready to dedicate time and energy to make that happen. If that is not you, please do not book a call. And number 2, you must be willing to show up fully and take action to reignite the passion and create lasting change. Transformation requires effort, openness, and dedication. If you're not ready to put in the inner work, I can't help you. But if you are a committed man and you feel stuck repeating the same destructive cycles again and again, and you're serious about reigniting the spark, then click the button under this video and schedule your free breakthrough session now. Click that link below, because just in a few short weeks from now, you could be looking forward to intimate weekends with a woman, feeling desired and connected, and knowing that you saved your relationship by yourself and opened a new chapter of being passionate, lifelong lovers. I am Steffo Shambo, and I hope to speak with you soon. Blessings.